There's something about the kitchen that both draws us in and repels us. Many people, including us, consider the kitchen the center of their home. When people visit, we find they tend to congregate there. When someone is cooking, all the kids and adults gather. Even the pets can be found underfoot. The kitchen is often called the heart of the home. There is a magnetic force about the kitchen that draws everyone in. In contrast, we noticed throughout our interviews that guest after guest, when asked about their experiences in their kitchen, quickly wandered to the thoughts about the dining table or fast-forwarded to the eating of the meal. As we read through the interview transcripts, we repeatedly found ourselves nudging guests to return to the process of food preparation and such lines as, "Interesting. Now, can I draw you back into the kitchen for this question?" Or, "I love how you describe being at the table, but can you tell us about how that shows up in the kitchen?" After we kept experiencing the narrative of avoiding the kitchen, we wondered and asked why this was so common. Why is it easier to talk about the presentation and eating of a meal than the preparation of it? Why does the idea of sourcing ingredients and making family recipes bring excitement to people's voices, but the actual chopping and stirring calls forth resistance? There's no one answer to these questions, but food preparation is the most practical and time-consuming part of the process, so we believe it's important to learn from the tensions we hold to see what we can discover. We feel these tensions too. And as we began unpacking our own resistance to the kitchen, a floodgate of stories and feelings opened up in us. We explored these stories as we cooked, and in the act of cooking with intention, with an eye toward justice, we found the hope to forge a new way of being in our kitchens as they were transformed into more just and faithful spaces. A history of power. Along with these stories of joyful gatherings with families and friends in the kitchen, there are other kitchen stories that are fraught. In much of Western history and in our own stories, cooking involves an undeniable power dynamic. Whether that is women being expected to cook for men or enslaved people cooking for their enslavers, there has been a long history of cooking as the role of subservient ones. While that power dynamic may not be as pronounced in the modern kitchen as it was in the past, we still feel its influence. According to a 2019 Pew Research study, women remain the primary shoppers and cooks in the average household, even when both partners work. In homes where one partner works outside the home and the other does not, even if that one works for pay from home, the seeming expectation is that one at home should cook for the one who goes off to work. The power dynamic is also reflected in who we see working in restaurant, hotel, school, and other kitchens across our country.